Well, hello there, I'm Détroit. I got a bit tired of following drawing prompts recently. I've been participating in a few art events like DTIYS, magazine cover competitions, or even various Discord art events. I do love to do that. Honestly, I encourage you to participate in a lot of art events if you can. You get to meet new people, see their art process and stuff like that. It's a growth thing that is very nice to do for artists. However, it is tiring. I kinda tend to get way into it. Like, how to explain? I'm a completionist. If there is a series of prompts, I want to do all of the prompts. I don't like missing one. But it's hard to do when you have like a dozen at any given time. So I end up with a whole list of like 20 drawings I want to do. But that's too much, of course. So at points, I need to trash the whole list and reset. Completely reset, like factory reset. How do I reset? By doing what I'm doing right now. Essentially, this whole spiel was the introduction into today's concept, having no expectations. This is why this Clip Studio document is called No Expectations. I went into it with a couple rules. It's absolutely fine to make a mess, don't get attached, and if I start struggling, then I should change what I'm doing. The concept isn't to challenge myself for once, or even learn anything. It's to do what feels right. So whenever it feels wrong, then it means I need to recenter and remind myself that there's no expectations to be had. And I'll be honest right now, I'm not fond of the final artwork. I shouldn't say that because I really hope you keep watching until the end, but yeah, not really my best work. And I'm fine with it. It's also to be expected since I literally spend no time on ideation and no time on decision making. I didn't iterate designs or sketches. Every choice I made was on vibes and vibes alone. I sketched the woman's face and body, and because I wasn't feeling like figuring out the hip situation in perspective, I blew up the hips and changed her proportions. Same as the hands. One hand is holding the camera and there isn't a hand on the other side. I didn't want to figure out hands. We all know hands are hard to draw and demand brain power. Composition-wise, I wasn't sure how to place the visible arm, so I cut off her arm. That's the kind of thought process I went with. That's what having no expectation gives you. Because it's not really the kind of prompt I would have put on my list beforehand. I don't see myself thinking of that as a concept. The split down the middle and the small semi-abstract pattern wormy things coming out? Yes, I could have thought of it beforehand, but not the other parts. So yeah, it's liberating. However, having no expectations doesn't stop my artist brain from doing artist stuff. When I saw the inking I started for the wormy things was too small, I decided to start it over a bit bigger. I know it would have looked too unbalanced in terms of density otherwise. I don't know, maybe I cheated my own rule, but yeah, no expectation doesn't mean letting go of everything. We are still trying to produce something that is visually interesting and kinda appealing here. Something I didn't expect at all though was to make the woman green. When I laid out the flats, I first started with a pink and green. But I changed hues and I don't know why, but this combo of green on top of a reddish pink felt better than the opposite. I'll also say, throughout the whole process, a lot of the artwork was shaped by the tools I used. I think I'm the most free when I use a simple hard round brush for sketching and inking because it feels like using a fine liner, like a rotring for example. It's easy to let go of things like pressure and size and simply focus on tracing line after line. I like having hard edges and it's the perfect tool for that. However, it all changed when I decided to render because I went on to use Pete Morbacher's old Huckleberry brush, which has recently become my go-to for painting. I love this brush. It's very free and feels like an extension of the arm more than any other type of brushes for a similar style of rendering. It feels natural to use once you get used to it. And so I started blending greens with greens. Used the lasso tool to select shapes and the brush I mentioned for painting the shapes in. It's all a combination of hard edges and soft edges. I try to keep the form in mind in some places, like the bicep for example, or the curves of the belly and hips, but as I said before, the moment I feel like I would start struggling, I relax and remember there is no expectations and the shapes start to get a bit more random. And it feels kinda good, I won't lie. And then it's just more of the same over the whole thing, until I got bored with the render. Because, again, it's not supposed to be challenging in any way. After the fact, I realized that this way of rendering things was very different but kinda reminiscent of some stuff I've seen DaVinci do. DaVinci is a great artist that I interact with frequently on Discord, and I have the chance to see his process often. Go check out his art. Because I thought of his art, I decided to steal something from it. And so I started adding small lines in the middle of the render, and that felt like it helps tie in the whole drawing. So thanks Dio for the idea, I am not sorry at all. Add in a couple effect layers like a Gaussian blur near the feet, a bit of posterization, curve adjustment, aberration, noise, all that sort of thing, and there you have it. My own unexpected drawing. Something I had no idea of the result when I started. You can like it and subscribe to the video and all that, and while you do that, I have finally completed my reset, and I'm ready to take on a new Discord art challenge and tackle on new walls of prompts. And I will do that in the March Hotel. If you want to know what March Hotel is, it's a month-long art event and organized by some of my art friends along with people you might know, such as Naka. Hey, why don't you go over to Naka's channel to see the announcement video about March Hotel? The video premieres in like a couple of hours today. And then you can catch me in the hotel all throughout the month of March. I'll try to make a booth where I had everybody's request to one big canvas. For a small price, of course. This is what the canvas looks like so far from just a couple days in the test server. So let's meet over there on Discord. Also, you can fish in the fountain. Okay, I'm signing off now. Bye!